The last video in this little series for a while is graciously sponsored by Ghostfire's next project, Fables. It's this interesting concept for an episodic adventure that they'll be releasing next year with a playable episode released each month. These episodes are around 80 pages each, fully illustrated to the same degree that my stuff is, and they already have episodes lined up all the way through the first half of next year, with another one right after it, because this is gonna be a big long thing, just like my... This particular series is set in the Grim Hollow universe, spearheaded by the amazing James Hayek. Like I've said before, this guy has been everywhere. So if it sounds cool to you, you can pre-order a subscription for 10 smackaroons each month, so you're essentially buying an almost 500-page adventure book as you run it. Even the ancients know how hard it is to schedule sessions, so you might find more grim genius than you know what to do with. Alright, here's some guy in a bean. I'm pretty sure that Jack and the Beanstalk is a story about like a little kid who goes to sell like his dad's goat and cow or whatever because his dad is super broke and he wants to buy that new Bugatti. The bank told him no, so he's like, look, we need like $12,000 extra cash, just go sell some livestock. And the kid goes out, and he goes, and he's like, hey, here's a cow for sale. I got a big cow, and there's a little goat here too. And then the goat just vanishes because it's not actually part of the story. And someone looks the cow like up and down, and he's like, those are some nice udders, baby.
I got this bean, kid. I got this fucking bean for that cow. Now listen here.
What am I gonna do with
this
the bean?
doesn't seem. Well, listen. How about you shut up for a fucking second, kid, and I'll tell you. Don't waste my time. I have this bean here. You see what this bean can do is if you plant it, it'll make a big old bean stalk and it'll rise out of the ground and you can go up to the clouds. It's a whole new world up there. It's like, have you ever seen Little Mermaid? You like Disney, kid?
Yeah, we're like practically in the 1800s, but you got a good bargain because I did see The Little Mermaid, but I don't know how clouds work, so that sounds pretty right to me.
Well, exactly. Think about it like Ariel, and think about how sick it was, how she like went up to the top and she like met a beautiful prince. Mm-hmm. If you go up there, maybe there's a big handsome man that'll take care of you.
Oh, I'd like that.
You ever think of that?
My dad beats me on the daily. He says you're not even as good as that cow, and now he ironically has me out going selling this cow instead of me. I don't think he can get rid of me, but I'll take a bean. And the cow is like already standing behind the guy with like a label on its neck. It's already branded. It's already rebranded.
It's got a Nike symbol on its side.
So he hands him this big greasy bean, just one bean, not in a sack, and the kid runs home. And his dad is just standing there. He's like, look, Dad, I got a bean for the cow. The cow turned into a bean.
What the fuck?
That's how capitalism...
What did you
do? The kid falls on the floor and starts crying.
Strikes the kid. He doesn't even touch him. He just like writhes in the fucking corner. He just like, ah! He collapses like he's so mad. He just drops to the ground,
foaming at the mouth. All right, this is how I think it went. I think the mom is like, all right, honey, I can take that bean and make a stew, and she puts it in this boiling pot of water, and the bean just shoots out of the pot of water and flies out the window. Nightfall.
Holy shit.
The kid prays upon a shooting star. He says, what's the fucking...
You wish upon a star.
You will taken very far.
Or
no,
it's
Starry night, star I might make a wish and fucking flight, and I'm gonna take a bite if you don't make it right. And then he says,
my asshole is right.
my wish is that the bean goes big and I get to go up and see a big himbo. And then he falls asleep and he wakes up in the morning, boom, explosion, massive fucking root with beans all over the place. The kid steps out. His dad was impaled. He's all the way at the top. His dad's just dead.
Oh my god.
His mom's just there, like making not beans. It's instead of like 3 bean or what's split bean, it's just half bean soup.
There's a single bean in this water that I've boiled.
So Jack starts climbing this shit, right? How long do you think it took him to get all the way up, like, to the Cloud Kingdom, just climbing a beanstalk? Because he didn't have, like, any climbing gear. That's gonna be terrifying.
No, he just started fucking climbing up there. I think what probably happened was, as he was, like, going up there, the beanstalk didn't necessarily stop growing, so there's, like, it's almost like a heartbeat, where all of a sudden, as he's climbing up, it starts to go...
Okay, yeah, so he wakes up, like, early in the morning.
Continue to go up.
He wakes up early in the morning, right at the moment the sun is visible in the sky, the bean starts growing. That's where his dad is out doing early tilling. Skewers his dad, shoots him up, and the kid's like, that's an interesting sound. The earth is rumbling. He goes outside, he grabs this beanstalk maybe 20 feet. It's already growing 20 feet, and he's just like, I'm gonna hug this.
Yeah.
He's got crazy, monkey strength. He's one of those climbers where every finger's a fish hook, and it just goes up.
He hugs it tight, and as he starts to breach through the clouds, his dad's corpse flops over onto the cloud, and as he might assume that it would flop down through it, it actually finds ground, and he realizes that he can actually step on this cloud.
He jumps down onto the cloud, and you know what, Dad? You were never nice to me. You treated me like a cow, even though I'm really thin and ripped. And he takes off his shirt as he's proving this to his dead dad, and he's fucking just
super jacked,
insanely jacked. He picks up his dad and he chucks the corpse.
Maybe he did climb up the beanstalk. It's when he sees it, he's like, I'm gonna climb up this beanstalk, and he rips his shirt off, and he's like, oh!
He's just like Flanders. He picks up his dad, and he throws him like a shot put just off the cloud, and he turns around, and he sees this big, what do you think it is, a middle-class house or an upper-class? What kind of house does this thing live in?
He lives in a giant shoe.
Big shoe.
He's a giant that lives in a shoe.
With 12 kids. I remember this part of the story.
Yeah, that's the one.
He starts...
There's a moral about there's always a bigger fish.
There's always a bigger shoe, and you never know when a boot's going to fall from the sky and just, clap on you. The moral of the story is that people are just ants, and there's just boots in the sky that we're not aware of. But so he walks into this boot, he starts looking around, he finds a big old grape, he starts munching on it for 2 hours, and then something happens.
A large man starts to step forward. He's shirtless, pretty jacked, he's handsome. He only has one eye though, so
That's
he
funny.
he's like a cyclops.
It's funny that he's jacked.
Because it's jacked and the beanstalk.
Yeah, it's jacked up that fucking beanstalk.
He actually looks like Hugh Jackman, except he's also a huge jacked man.
He's a huge jacked man. Okay.
He's got a cyclops eye. He steps forward. He's got a little song that he sings. He goes,
Hee-hi-ho-hum, hee-hi-ho-hum.
Okay, so he comes just...
I forgot how great that was.
Bopping in and dancing into this room. Hugh Jackman, obviously.
Oh, I crap my pants.
And he who said that?
This little man, I'm actually just
I smell shit.
I'm covered in shit. I'm sorry. I grew a big beanstalk.
I'm very poor.
I planted it in a bunch of manure. The cow that I used to have, look, that was her shitting grounds.
And it just pans over to him, and he's just a little brown guy. Wait, I can't say that. It pans over to him, and he's just he's just caked in dirt.
Are you part of the 1%? Are you one of them wealthy boys?
I am.
That's pretty
I
cool.
live in luxury inside of this massive boot with my 12 children and my deceased wife.
Can you show me around and show me all the cool stuff that you clearly earned?
Well, let me tell you, I love doing that. He scoops him up, climbs into his gentle hands.
Yeah, I can't believe I'm getting jacked off.
He says as he flies in the air.
That is what they call it. You're not the first to be here. I often love to show people my home. Actually, little did you know, as a rich man, part of the 1%, I paid that man to give you that big bean for that cow. I actually wanted you here.
Now I'm really uncomfortable. I feel like, my fate isn't my own. I feel like the future is predetermined.
His big hand starts to clench around him. It squeezes tightly as he's like, now let me show you what is in my home.
I love showing people the things that I have more than I love the things that I have.
He's like, noted.
I love flaunting my wealth over the poor. He shows him all of his high school football trophies, explains how he could have been big if it weren't for that one thing.
It cuts back to the shelf that's just got a bunch of trophies and one of them's missing, and you just see one of them hanging from Jack's hand, even though he's still in the guy's grasp and line of sight. That's a big golden statue of what game?
Dark Souls. This is my Dark Souls championship trophy. I used to PvP, I used to be in the big leagues.
I was in the big leagues. I invaded just about everybody. And Jack's like, that's cool. Wait, where'd your statue go? Oh, well. And they move on to the next room.
He shows him a prized goat with sagging udders dragging on the ground.
Yeah, so the goat, just as it meanders, they're 6 feet behind the goat at all times.
Well, you must really milk that thing.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. They're just standing there like, yep.
So are you gonna tell me why you have a cool goat with 6-foot long udders? Any reason for that, or?
Listen, Jack.
Let me be frank with you, Jack.
Your name is Jack, right?
Yeah, that's me.
I'm leaving this to you. I've scouted you out. You see, I've murdered your father because now I am your father. That's how the law works.
That is how the law works.
And this is all going to be for you.
What about?
But I require a service of you.
I mean, I have a mama who's down there making half a bean soup. My bean soup mom. She's probably wondering where I went.
Well, actually, that's the service that I need from you. I need you to slaughter your mother.
I feel like
I like how he immediately considers.
Strokes chin, rubs belly.
Pulls out gun.
Perhaps me has thought of this before.
Well, why don't you finish the tour? I feel like there's some kind of a harp or maybe a golden milk or something that we got to look for.
Oh, yes. Here is my large golden goose. It lays golden eggs. That's actually how I made so much money. My father gave this to me.
So this is your silver spoon.
And I valiantly was able to invest.
It
yeah.
represents a
what?
multi-million-dollar corporation. I see.
They just immediately move on to the next room, and there's like the goose is just missing.
Yeah. Just pockets it like fucking villager.
He just cooks the goose. Turns back to Frank the Giant, and Jack just has like full like squirrel cheeks just stuffed. It's like, oh, I wonder where my goose went. Oh well.
He spits out a golden egg.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah, it's my golden egg. Huh? Ah, yes,
Do you have, like, a heart?
speechless, I know. It is quite grand. Well, actually, I do. And he, like, shows him the little harp. Yeah, there's a small woman attached to the harp. No, she's actually part of the harp. It's a sentient woman that he keeps there playing the harp, that is fused into the harp. They were actually made
That's
like
not a magic item. I'm pretty sure that's just called conditional slavery.
It is.
Fascinating.
They're just like, oh, that's neat. What's she play?
Terribly. She's just like ding,
She's playing like a really terrible mid-eye file of an old Sonic game.
I feel like I really gotta go.
He pulls out like a Glock and an AK-47 in either hand.
You said I gotta go kill my mom.
Yeah. Go on and do that.
Yeah.
Puts him down and he just stares deeply at the harp.
Jack runs to the edge of the island, jumps down. We get a cutscene of Fortnite.
Two Glocks. She's like, I'm gonna kill my mom. Woo!
He drops right down at a 3 Mom farm. And he goes in and he's like,
Mom, look, I faked out a big guy named John or something. I forgot. He didn't matter to the story at all. But look, I ate the chicken.
what did he fucking get? The one thing that he actually took was not a real...
He got a Dark Souls trophy.
Yeah, he got a golden Dark Souls trophy.
With this, we could be rich.
It pans over to the window that's like right next to them, and the guy who sold him the bean is just like talking on the phone with the giant.
Yeah, I'm watching him. I'm watching him talk to his mom right now. I'm pretty sure he's gonna kill her any second.
Time passes, more time passes. He stands
like-
there as like behind him goes from day to night to day to night. Hey, look, man, I don't think he's gonna kill his mom. I think he should come down here.
The giant is staring at the harp still intently, listening to the phone while they're playing their little mid-eye files over there. Yeah, all right, I'll be there right now. He walks over to the outside of the shoe, like the front of the shoe, and as time has gone by, a large shoelace has slipped in front of his door, and he actually trips over the shoelace. He falls off the cloud. Oh fuck, my shoelace! Ah!
It's this tragic thing where he trips over his literal shoelace, and then he looks back, and it's hanging like 1 foot away as he falls, and it just goes and goes and goes further and further away. He lands. Where does he land?
He lands in Tomato Town, actually.
Oh shit, he wipes out Tomato Town. So anyway, that's the end of Jack and the Bean.